silence my phone a little bit. Oh,
Yeah.
we're live. We are live. We are live. Welcome back to the Hank Strange situation. Let's see. We're doing jazz hands. Come on, there's Trey. Goes tactical. Jazz hands going. I got my jazz hands going. 13C Joe will be joining us in a few minutes. We're gonna make him do jazz hands all over again. I think he's trying to come in late so he can avoid jazz hands. But
I mean, how do you not like jazz hands? I mean, if you're going to try to come in late, then you better bring the jazz hands to a whole nother level.
Yeah. We're gonna have to see special jazz hands from Joe. But I hope you guys have your big girl. Like it's gonna have to be fur lined big girl
I just put them on. I just put them on.
Right. Or just get real up and close and personal with your big girl because it's cold in lots of places in America.
Hey, I'm afraid. I'm a pretty tough guy, but I'm afraid to call my wife a big girl, so I might not do that.
Listen, there's nothing. I like meat on my potatoes.
Right.
Big girls. There's nothing wrong with big girls. Lots of people out there appreciating some big girls right now.
Oh, yeah, no problem. I just don't want to call her a big girl.
Yeah. You're just voluptuous.
That's right. Is that what it is? Okay. All right.
Curvy. So
exactly.
Hey, we're big boys.
Well, I'm not necessarily.
Oh, really? Oh, it's like that.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't have to repel out of my truck like Clover does, but I'm not much taller than him. Not much taller than him.
Okay, don't let him hear that.
He's out there. That's why I said that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think he likes those jokes. So that means we have to do it like triple time now.
That's right.
Triple jokes. Yeah, this is podcast number 316 of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast. I'm your host, Hank Strange. And of course, we've got Ghost Tactical. Trey's here.
What's up?
Joining us. And tonight we're going to talk the subject is we don't need your permission to teach our kids about the Second Amendment and guns and shooting and safety. Do we need someone's permission?
Not my household. You don't.
Nope, don't think so. Don't think we need any permission. Clover Tax says I resemble those jokes. He resembles those jokes.
He owns them. I love that about him.
How short is Clover Tactical?
Like I'm 5'8", so he's like 5'7.5".
Oh wow!
But I do that a half inch for me and him.
I don't really believe that. I've seen him stand next to Lola Strange, and she's about 5'2".
Dude, I'm trying to give him some credit here, okay?
Okay.
Oh hell, he says he's 5'7", so
yeah, he makes up for it in goodness.
Yes, he does.
Lucky Charms. Yeah, he's a handsome man.
I'll take your word for it.
No. He says Clover Tax says 5'7". 5'7".
There you go. It's all good.
With heels.
With his combat boots on.
Yeah, with heels on. So
wow.
Yeah.
This is getting off to a rough start.
Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna talk about that. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, it seems like Mr. Pink's husband, who we're going to refer to as Mr. Pink. I think he's a little bit famous in his own right, but who doesn't like Pink? I like Pink. I think Pink is kind of cute.
Well, she's an attractive woman, but she absolutely has one of the best voices in the world. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Pink.
Yeah, I like Pink. Hope you guys like Pink. We're talking about the rock star.
Yeah, right.
But we probably like Pink anyway.
Yeah, I do.
So, Mr. Pink, what's his name again? Hold on, let me see.
Something Hart.
Corey? Is it
Corey Hart? Maybe or Corey? Oh crap! Don't get me lying.
Carrie Hart.
Yeah, Carrie Hart. Yeah.
I think he was a motocross guy. Obviously, he's a gun guy.
Yeah.
And obviously, in the Pink household, they believe in the Second Amendment. They believe in shooting. They're teaching their oldest daughter guns and gun safety and all that. And I think they posted a video. So we'll talk about that. And I guess there's some backlash. Oh my God.
Gotta be kidding me.
This girl knows discipline and safety and how to hit a target with a 22. So
God forbid that we actually teach our kids responsibility,
Yeah. I think that we need to teach all the children of America about guns and gun safety. Obviously, let them make the choice if they want to get deeper into guns or the Second Amendment, but we need to teach them about guns and gun safety. And you know what? It's not bad for them to be proficient when it comes to firearms. Walter and I were talking about that yesterday because I think it was either in the firearms blog or one of these blogs. We either read the firearms blog or the Truth About Guns. But you know, one of them was talking about where was it? Was it the Ukraine or something like that, where the people were they're getting more into guns and encouraging the kids to shoot and all that kind of stuff. Right. Very, very important, not just for safety, not just to help them avoid accidents and bad things that happen out there when kids who don't or people who don't really have safety knowledge of guns get involved with them, but it's a good thing. Good thing to be capable of hitting a target with a firearm.
Well, I think a lot of it comes down to, and it's not just for being able for self-protection and all that, but what people don't realize that are not gun people is, you mentioned earlier, it takes a lot of discipline and control and all of that to be able to be proficient with a firearm. So you're learning so many more life skills than just pulling a trigger, you know?
Yeah. And I think, and yes, I think there's a lot of things you learn about life out there. You also learn that these things are can cause destruction, and you learn to respect that. So I think it's very important. I taught my kids when we moved here to Florida, actually when we moved to this part of Florida and we started getting into it, first thing I taught my kids, and you know, I think they benefited from that, as all kids will. CloverTax says Kids Safe Foundation is doing some great work in how do you say it? Oregon?
Or I call it Oregon. I don't know how it's supposed to be said, but
Oregon.
That's a southern way.
Yeah. In fact, they're proposing legislation to require firearm safety by the first grade public schools. Cool. So let me see. I'm going to shout out. I'm going to try to go through and shout out everyone that's in here. Please, folks, hit the thumbs ups. We need the thumbs ups. Okay. Very, very important. Smash those thumbs and, you know, share the video, all that kind of good stuff. If you're not subscribed to Lifestyles of the Locked and Loaded, which is the channel that you're watching right now, that you're looking at this live, you need to be subscribed. You know, the Hank Strange channel is a totally separate channel. This is Lifestyles of the Locked and Loaded. This is where we do. Yeah.
Wrong channel. Damn.
Yeah, I know. You should be subscribed to both of them, as well as Ghost Tactical, you know, as well as Clover Tack and all the other good guys out there. Right. But, you know, subscribe and then ring the bell. That's how you get notified. So
that's right.
All good things. SoCal Gunner was #1 in the chat. So shout out to SoCal Gunner. Let's see who else we got. Vanessa Kitty was here. Chris Williams, Armament and Axes, The Archangel, Special K, Rob Avis, Jade Grew, also here. Boss Hog, Magnum Boys, Bricks, Seiko 316, DCG 44s is here. Pixamite 1 is here. Let's see, who is that? David Serpa. You're in the chat, so everyone can say hi to you in the chat. Let's see who else we got in here. Trying to go through the comments. Rich White is here as well.
The 1% himself.
Rich White. Welcome to the show, Rich.
Hey, who's out there right now is Michael Woodland. Magic Mike is out driving home. He's listening, so let's try to get him into an accident. Just saying.
Oh, no, Mike's a nice guy.
I'm just messed.
Yeah. We don't want him to mess up the shooting hand. You know, he's becoming
That's true.
He's trying to get his Jerry Michalik on.
You know, he's too pretty to get hurt. You know, he's like a pretty guy. At least he says he is. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Maybe we can convince him to share some bone marrow with Clover Tack, because he's kind of tall.
He is. He's like 6'5". I mean,
yeah, Michael's kind of tall. If we were living in a communist nation, we would take some bone marrow out of Michael and give it to Clover Tack. So somebody should be happy that we're not living.
Oh yeah. Lord, that's
you know, good. Maybe Clover likes, you know, he's good just the way that he is.
Those leprechauns, man, they make the best of every situation, you know.
Yeah, and if you capture him, you know, and you torture him long enough, he might lead you to his pot of gold.
His pot of ammo.
Pot of ammo. Either one would be good.
Yeah.
Either one would be good.
That's true. I wouldn't mind the gold. I've got plenty of ammo.
Yeah. Oh boy, the next time he comes on, that's going to be interesting.
Yes, it is.
That's going to be interesting. So let's see who else is out here. Flopping Garbage is here. Jolly Roger USA is here. Armament and Axes, I think I said. Dan, Richard Hughes is in here. Clover Tack, of course, is here. Fearless Orca Tactical says Jazz Hand. Shout out to Fearless Orca Tactical. Let's see who else we got. Turbo 99 Miata. Red Leg Objective Canine Coach. Gabe Stark also here. Sniper 1 says finally catching the show live for once. What's up, people? You know what we should do? This is what we should do, Ghost, while I'm doing the shout outs.
Yeah, man.
Everyone right now, tell us where the hell you're watching this show from. I want to.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to know where the people are and where they're watching the show from. Let us know right now. Shout out.
I'm gonna steal something from Mike also. So if we get like 100 thumbs up, I got a giveaway we want to give away. So I got a hat from Agia.
Cool. Wait, let me see that Aguila hat again. That's pretty damn cool.
That is pretty damn cool, isn't it?
What? I like that. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Yeah,
you got that and some iPro from Venture Gear Tactical. One of my sponsors, man, they're awesome people.
What? Great people. iPro? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, boy.
You've got an iPro. You've got an iPro sponsor.
I do.
Balling.
I do. I'm balling, dude. I am. Balling.
You are a serious baller.
Yeah.
Just in case you don't know.
I want to give a shout out to Michael Sedini, good friends of both of ours. Hank, WTTA, Wealth Talk America. One of their bracelets. This is awesome. I wear mine every day, as you can see.
Oh, cool.
Let's do a Black Rain Ordnance patch. How about that?
Boom.
Or it's actually a sticker. Cool sticker.
Yeah.
Let's do Alien Gear sticker. Pretty cool.
Oh boy.
And you'll like this. I'm sure you got a ton of them, but the Fort Scott Munitions patch.
Yes. Fort Scott Munitions.
Great patch. Awesome patch. So let's
shut up.
So
that's how I burn through all these 9mm.
That's right.
Here.
That's right.
Yeah. And let me remind folks, by the way, it's nice that you said Fort Scott, because look.
There you go. There you go.
Let me just flex my muscles. Don't get blown away by all the sexy right now.
That's right.
But Fort Scott Munitions.
Awesome people, man. Awesome people.
I've got some kind of code. What is my code? I think it's Hank 10 for Fort Scott Munitions. Yeah, Hank 10, and you can get 10% off from Fort Scott. So, and they've got AK ammo now. Did you see that? I don't know if you're into AKs.
I love AKs. As a matter of fact, I was going to bring one of my AK pistols for the old gun porn, but I didn't go home, so it's still in my safe at home. But
okay.
But that's cool. I'm a huge AK fan. Love the AK platform.
Every gun guy should have a high point.
I have a high point.
Yeah,
got several of them.
Yeah, should have at least one AK.
Yep.
Or at least owned an AK in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see what else. You should also have an AR. That's a good thing.
Absolutely.
Some sort of 22.
Some sort of 22.
Let's see. What are the 5 must-haves for a gun guy? Come up with a
I have owned a revolver. I'm not a revolver guy, but I would say you have to own a semi-auto pistol and a revolver. You know.
Okay, okay. Oh yeah, okay. Either revolver or shotgun. I don't know if we're gonna just
shotgun. Yeah, okay, yeah, sure. Okay, yeah. 5. Holy cow. Okay,
yeah, we're just gonna do 5. You guys can let us know what 5 guns or types of guns everyone should have. That might be a cool thing.
What type of gun? Okay, so not brand, just
type 5 types. Gun. No, 5 types, not brands.
Okay,
but,
okay.
Well, we could put High Point as a brand. No, High Point is a brand, but we could put it as a type. You should have, I think everyone should have a really cheap gun.
I think so. I mean, it works as a paperweight, a boat anchor, and a firearm at the same time. But no, I'm a fan of High Point. Especially their carbines. Their carbines are phenomenal. If you don't have a High Point carbine, phenomenal.
Yeah, I do. I like the carbines, 10mm carbines out there.
Yep.
I'm gonna try to get my hands on one of those and put it in a bullpup kit.
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
Because I like a bullpup, which if I should probably revise my 5 things list to have everyone should have a bullpup.
Hey, speaking of bullpups, have you seen UTAS's new bullpup shotgun?
No, but I saw the original UTAS and they are horrible.
Oh yeah, this one actually is a lot better looking.
Oh really? Oh okay.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't talking about looks. Yeah, they're not.
I didn't shoot it, so I wouldn't know. But
I've seen lots of bad things happen with the original UTAS. I don't know about the new ones, but the original ones they came out with were not very reliable.
Yeah.
Lots of crazy stuff happening with those, but I guess they have a new one. High Point also has it's coming out with a new handgun.
They are. Yes, they are.
Yeah. So I think I saw the guys. What's the name of the guy? Is it James from the Firearm Blog? I saw some kind of video at SHOT Show, and he was in the shower. I didn't know we're trying to be all super sexy now.
Hey, I don't want to know.
I'm not judging. I'm not judging. Everyone can't do
exactly.
I've often been tempted to do videos from the shower.
Yep.
You know.
Now, I was watching a little live earlier today from Gun Talk Live, and they're talking about shower carrying. And what gun would you take if you were going to carry to shower? I've never had that question posed like that. So I wonder,
let's actually physically in the shower.
They say if you're going to carry in the shower, what gun would you carry in the shower? And that was an interesting question.
I think that is an interesting question.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do. Do you carry in the shower?
I do not.
Oh.
But if I did, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't carry in the shower.
Well, at least not that gun,
No. Yeah. Yeah. But I come really close to that just outside. Like I carry in the house. I carry
until I go to bed, and then it's right there on my nightstand. It's my bed. So yeah.
Yeah. So someone said I'm very choppy. I don't know if anyone else is getting choppy.
Sounds good to me.
There. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah.
Now Clover Tag says a super soaker. Now that might be the shower carry, a super soaker.
Yeah. I got your super soaker right here. I got your super
unlimited ammo with the shower.
Yeah. I carry all the way up into the bathroom. What I do is like I tuck my house carry under the underwear. No, I wasn't not tucking.
I heard you say you tuck, and I was like, hey, that's what you gotta do, bro.
Naughty. But I put it under my underwear because I figure like if ninjas, if ninjas attacked my house and they came to get me right when I was taking a shower because they think, okay, Hank Strange is naked, we got him, he's vulnerable now.
Surprise.
Yeah, I figure they're not gonna want to go under my underwears to look for the gun. And then when I come out, I'm gonna shock them when they see me like naked and wet. I don't know about you, but when I'm wet, I'm real sexy. I don't know.
I mean, I'll say I am. I don't know.
Yeah, I think everybody out there is real sexy when they're wet. But so all those different levels of shock, and then the extra protection of not wanting to touch another man's underwear. So that's like a good. Right. So that's how I would shower carry, which is not exactly in the shower
carry. Yeah, I've got right outside my shower door. It's a glass door you open, and right next to it's like a little thing for towels and all that. And I always put my handgun like between a couple of towels. So when if I have to, I can slam the door and at least get them to back up for a second. And as I'm opening the door, I can reach right there and have my gun. So it's like literally a foot from the door. So yeah, it's not like I practice that or anything, but I do.
Okay. Yeah, the weird things that gun guys think about.
Exactly. Yeah, we're the paranoid people,
Yeah, I think so. Someone should come up with how American Gun Chick, which I think Lola said we're getting American Gun Chick on Monday to come on here.
Good. Good for her.
Yeah. Oh, wait, you have a thing going on? I forgot.
Nah, I don't have a thing. I don't have a thing.
Oh, okay.
They don't like me, but there's a lot of people that don't like me.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
It's all good.
Okay. I think I realize that now.
But
either way, I know that American Gun Chick has that. I forgot what the tactical booby cover thing.
Oh, the dust cover, the bib. It's a bib.
Yeah. Well, if she, they could this just to expand the line. This is just an idea. Just an idea. I'm putting it out there. A waterproof thing that goes around, and then you can put your gun in while you're showering.
Oh, that's an idea. That's right. I got another one. So what if we made a towel that had like a little pocket sewn on it, so when you walk around with your towel on, you've got like a built-in holster with your gun.
With a pocket. I mean, isn't that a robe? Isn't that what a robe is?
But some people don't wear robes. But I'm just saying for the
towel. I don't use it.
Yes, you could do a robe. But
yeah, I think I had a robe once. I don't know what the hell happened.
Smoking jacket, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Just good ideas. Good ideas out there. Someone should make a waterproof holster, maybe.
Yeah. Now that would be kind of cool. I mean,
Yeah.
Kydex is waterproof, isn't it? I mean, honestly,
It is. But I think you would want the whole gun to,
yeah.
if your gun is getting water, I don't think there's anything wrong with your gun getting wet. But I think on a regular, you're going to be cleaning that thing all the time.
Now, is your My Little Pony bag, is that waterproof? Because you could use that in the shower.
No, that's definitely not.
Oh, okay.
That's the one place I would if it was waterproof.
Yeah.
I would totally. If it was something I could hang around my neck and it's like you ever saw that fake commercial for the shower caddy? You ever saw that? It's like a fake commercial.
No, I don't guess I did.
For stupid ideas. It's this thing where this guy comes up with I think it's is it a shower caddy or some kind of thing that you put around your neck and then you put things in it. And it's a commercial for.
Oh yes, I did see that. That was actually hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a commercial for like if you want to trademark or what is it called again? Copyright or something.
Yeah.
An invention. So yeah, just ideas, man, like this. People could be listening to this podcast and then just if you put any of our ideas out there and you make money.
I just asked 20%. That's not a whole lot.
Okay, that's not bad. I was going to ask for less, but that sounds good.
Well, I'll say we could split it 20%. So we'll get 10% each. How about that?
Yeah. Or buy me a jet.
Yeah.
A yacht or something like that.
I will say this, Hank, I'm a little upset. Just a little bit upset. We saw each other several times throughout the week at SHOT Show, and not once did I see the My Little Pony bag. Just saying.
Yes, that was the My Little Pony bag was in Las Vegas as people requested,
but it didn't make it to the SHOT Show floor.
It did make it to the SHOT Show floor.
Well, good.
In one video.
Okay.
If anyone looks at the video that I did with the guys from Full Conceal, it's in that video. And then I didn't want to leave it with them, but the bag got left with them by accident.
Oh, it's a shame.
Yeah, accidentally
left it in Vegas.
Got left there. Yeah. So no more of that.
Accidentally left a few dollars in Vegas.
Unless they want to. They actually liked it. I have a picture. I have to put this up. I haven't had a chance to really post a bunch of stuff.
So this is an exclusive for the live viewers only.
Yeah, I've got to post this at some point. But I actually have one of the partners over at Full Conceal. Where is this picture? Okay, let's see. Let's get a good clear one. So I don't know if you guys could see this. Let's see. How do I? There we go. You see that bag that gentleman is holding?
He's holding it.
That is the My Little Pony bag. Just believe it. I know you can't see. It's a little bright, this thing, but I'll post it. I'll post it up.
Nice.
So yeah. Let me see if I zoom in there so that no one believes me. Man, it's just let's see. There it goes. Do you see it? You see the colors on it?
Yeah, that's nice. It matches his jeans. It just kind of it fills the outfit. I mean, that's just perfect.
Yeah, that makes every man sexy.
Hell yeah.
So Psycho 316 says, did I say podcast 316? Yeah, this is number 316.
John 316 for you people out there that care.
Yeah. And he's Psycho 316.
He is Psycho.
What is John 316?
I want to say that's that God loved the earth, that he gave his only begotten son. To anyone that trusts in him should have eternal life. To this, I'm not a big religious guy, but that's paraphrasing
something. Okay, good.
I might burn in hell for not knowing it. Word for word. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we probably all burning.
Yeah, I'm burning for a lot of different reasons, I think.
Yeah, we're all burning. The gun enthusiast is here. He said Hank Hefner. That was back, I think, when we were talking about robes. Yeah. And then there's been a lot of chatter that we've missed while we got off on a tangent.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah. Nico Ghost Gunner says the guys from Full Conceal will probably bring the brony bag back next SHOT Show.
I hope so. I hope it's a thing. At least maybe they might breed the NRA. You never know.
Yeah.
The traveling bag,
Right. And I think that they were asking me where I got it from, which I got it from not Home Depot. That would be
wow.
Walmart. Walmart. I got it from Walmart. So if anyone out there really wants one of those, you can totally get it. You can totally get it from Walmart if you want to. And then someone, since I'm here in Florida, you're in Tennessee?
I'm in Arkansas.
Arkansas.
I'm in AR, Kansas.
Oh, then it's cold. How cold is it over there?
It's been like 20 the last few. It warmed up today to about 36.
So okay. That's warm.
Got a heat
That's
wave,
hot. Yeah, that's hot. 'Cause some people are in -20.
Yeah, we never got. We were down to like the teens and 20s the last few days, but we never got down to like Chicago where it was like negative something. That's crazy.
Oh, let me see. Should I check to see what the temperature here is in Florida? Or is that
I don't even want to know. It's probably like 74 degrees.
Is it offensive to people if I check the weather in Florida right now and see? It's going to be cold. Oh, man, it is cold. It's 52 degrees.
Woo! Better get the igloos out.
Jeez, wow. Yeah, that's, I mean, I like it to at least be like 60.
Yeah, you might have to turn the air conditioning off for first time in this sentence.
So in Florida, so let's see who said this. David Serpa says no more Common Core in Florida. And then Scamp 900 says, what is Common Core? So I think the governor of Florida, he did an executive order or something to delete Common Core. So that's Governor DeSantis, and Common Core is like a standardized thing that all, I think we have that all over the country called, everyone probably calls it something different.
Yeah.
So if you look it up, the Common Core State Standards Initiative is an educational initiative from 2010 that details what K to 12 students throughout the United States should know in English language, arts, and mathematics at the conclusion of each grade.
Yeah, the problem with it is, and I can't speak for everywhere, but locally I can tell you that there are a lot of people that will say teachers teach to this test, and they're not really teaching anything else as long as they teach the stuff that's going to be on this test so that their numbers are good and all of that. But it comes down to, you're not pushing students to want to get better. You're teaching them basic
so just take
things.
Tests. Yeah, you're just
Exactly.
you're just teaching them to be able to pass tests, which allows the school systems, teachers, and other people to rig those tests. Either rig them, which we've caught people just outright rigging it,
right,
or only teaching the kids to pass those tests, and then not really dealing directly with the kids and other things that may be more important to teach kids.
Exactly. Yeah, it's hard to sit there and say that it's a bad thing, but I think ultimately it is, because you're not only teaching them how to just take tests, but you're almost teaching to the lower half of the class. And so the people that might be bored, and you wonder why kids are bored with school, because they're really not learning anything. They're just sitting there being preached to. That's not helping anybody.
Yeah, I think we need to give teachers a lot more leeway in these things. I think that around the country, there's maybe different things that people would want to teach students in school. Obviously, we want them to learn common things, but I don't know what was wrong with the old math. Did the old math somehow ruin the world?
Apparently.
Really?
I don't know. I mean, I think sometimes the government thinks that there needs to be initiatives just to have initiatives. And this was one, I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah, but I think it's silly. I think you need to, first of all, there's different ways. I think there's basic things all kids need to learn. Then there's things they need to learn because of where they are, which I think is important, right? And then there's things that they're maybe interested in, or things that we want to figure out, like, hey, are there kids who are into engineering, or this thing or that thing, so we can help them go in those directions. But we want to be more flexible when we're teaching children, even as time goes on. We don't want to graduate these kids and, they, because they passed this test, then they have this basic thing, but they don't know how to understand anything in the world, or how to figure things out for themselves.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it also is my daughter's 21 and she graduated high school, 4 years ago. And so I'm not too far removed from all of that. But my biggest issue is what they're teaching. They're basically scanning over, especially in history class. They're basically just scanning over history and not going in depth, because let's just talk about the Constitution. They'll sit there and say, all right, you need to memorize the first 10, the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments to the Constitution. but they don't go in depth of what each one of those Bill of Rights actually mean and why they were put in the Constitution. So you have these kids who sit there, well, I know what the Bill of Rights are, but I don't know what they mean. Well, isn't it more important to find out what they actually mean instead of just what they are? Because anyone can memorize, 10 amendments, but let's please teach them why these amendments are so important to who we are as Americans.
I agree with you, and they should have that discussion. Looks like Joe's joining us. What's up, Joe?
Hey, sorry about being late, guys. I was
no, that's cool.
Work today.
That's cool. Can we see you? You got to do jazz hands.
Yeah, you got to bring it, man.
Yeah, we got to see jazz. We want a special jazz hands. It looks like you got like stars on your. Wow.
I do. Here. Yeah. Let me fix my chair since we're set up for the webcam here.
Is this a special hoodie that you're rocking?
It is. It is the George Washington HQ flag hoodie from 1776 United.
Oh, cool.
Yep. It looks like he's also rocking a Tactical Walls thing behind him.
Yeah,
I am.
Shout out to my buddies Chris and Miley from Tactical Walls, man. Those are good people. That's a great product right there.
They are. That thing is full 4 years old now. I free floated it. There's no clamps on the top there, so not recommended to free float it. But as you can see, I did.
It's a great display piece.
There's been there's been no issues with it since. I love it. I've also got the mirror, the rifle length mirror, and they are awesome products. I love them.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. I had them and I still have them, but I just got to put them back up. So, I mean,
yeah, they're really good people. I like them.
It's one of those projects I need to get around to. Yes, they are cool. They are very good stuff.
Originals and made in the USA, unlike that knockoff that came out a year or two ago using cheap woods, cheap materials, and just those douchebags over there at that company we won't mention.
Okay.
No, it's
company that shall not be spoken.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. It's just it's unfortunate that companies. I mean, I don't know. I guess it's really hard to trademark something like that because I talked to Chris about that, and and that sucks. I mean, they've been doing it before. They do it right, and it just really sucks to see somebody just. It's the same thing that happened with Keybar and that stupid smart key or whatever the hell it is. They flat out ripped him off, and just because the way some of the trademark laws are and patents and stuff, they tweaked one tiny little thing, even though they look freaking identical damn near. You got them selling, again, not that I have anything against China, but you have a company making stuff here in the U.S. Yeah, it costs a little more for Keybar, but it's 100% U.S. made, U.S. workers, U.S. materials, 100%. And you have a company that comes in and undercuts them by 10-15%, and everything's outsourced out of China. That's just, I don't know, that's uncool.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's my rant. That's a whole lot of pent up anger over some other things that we won't talk about.
No, I understand.
The day job that just dumped.
We are here to help you. We are here.
It's been a long day.
We are here to help you.
Kick the feet up, Joe, and just have a drink and let's sing Kumbaya, man.
Yeah. The folks are here. They were here to help you. We can listen to your things. We were just talking about the Governor DeSantis here in Florida. He's reversing lots of things. Here, I'll read this. This is from Fox News. Florida Governor DeSantis signs executive order scrapping Common Core. That's what we were discussing.
Thank God.
Yeah, and another reversal of former Governor Rick Scott. Evil man. I'm not a fan of Rick Scott. DeSantis ordered, like, all his, like, for example, the gun control laws he put into effect, he signed, that should all be reversed. But DeSantis executive order directs Educational Commissioner Richard Corcoran to develop a roadmap for a new way to educate the Sunshine State students. Yes, and hell yes. In America, they should get rid of it.
I agree, 100%.
Yeah, I think, you know what, DeSantis is doing good so far, man.
I don't care a lot from Florida, except for you and Kevin and some buddies of mine that live in Florida. I hear some stuff, but it sounds like he's not afraid to come in and kick some doors down, which I guess is what you need. Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff here that needs to be reversed. Now, I'm not going to say that Scott was 100% horrible, but he left with a really, really, really bad, he's like that guy that was living in your house, renting your house from you. And then when he moves out, he puts holes in the walls and, shits on the carpet and does all that kind of stuff. Cause he left us with gun control.
Yeah.
and then went off to the Senate.
Yeah, see, Clover out there, he's trying to start a fight. He's saying that we need the metric system. Shut your mouth. I don't have time to learn another, system of measuring.
Look,
Because he will be taller. He'll be taller under the metric.
He's going to sound taller.
Yeah.
How many people has the metric system put on the moon?
Well played.
Probably the same amount as as any other system, 0. But hey, shots fired.
Ooh, wow.
Maybe I don't know.
Boy. Oh boy.
Moon landing comes up every time.
Okay. So do the Chinese have the metric system? I don't know, because didn't they just land on the moon?
They have abacuses, right?
Do they? They might.
They may be way ahead of us. They haven't been doing that Common Core nonsense.
That's for sure.
I can guarantee you that.
I guarantee that.
Yeah, we need to go back to the old ways. Like, I came to America let me see. I first came to visit America in 1980 for the first time, but we came to live in America in 1983. And, I'm not going to say my education was awesome, but every year for me, I noticed that education got worse and worse, So, and even when I look back, like when I talk to my kids, they're both out of high school and in college, but there's a whole bunch of books they didn't read and all that kind of stuff, and the teachers I think that my teachers in the 80s were liberal, but they wanted us to rebel. But it seems to me like in the last, I don't know, since the early zeros or whatever, if not before that, what we're trying to do is just make zombies.
Yep. I graduated high school in 93, and I know that my school, it pushed us to learn and to expand and to question, not in a rebellious way, but always question, because questions end up having great dialogue and conversations. And it's like you said, now, especially in college, a lot of these professors aren't teaching anything except for you must buy my book because that's the required reading for this class. And it's like, I don't need your book. I want you to teach me something that I can use in my life. And they don't do that anymore. My daughter's, getting ready to graduate college, and she's like, it's a piece of paper at this point. Yeah. It's like, I partied for 4 years, or I did this for 4 years. They gave me a piece of paper and I haven't got anything out of it except for debt. They got debt out of it.
Yeah. I think you have to be, I don't think that college is necessarily for everyone.
No, it's not.
If you know what you want to do, in life, you could probably go after it and get it done. I think if you don't know what you want to do and you get out of high school, you don't really know what you want to do, it's an option. Some people it might be a better option for them to go into the military. Some people might be a better option for them to go work for anyone, grocery store, McDonald's, or whatever. Suffer a little bit and go, oh, I might want to get my act together.
Yeah, I graduated from the University of the Marine Corps, so Semper Fi.
Yeah,
I had a really cool fraternity. I can imagine. My pledging was probably a little bit different than they were in university fraternities.
Yeah,
reality,
yes.
Bro.
I can 100% imagine that. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. So that's one thing. What's going on with you, Joe? Since you're, what's got you, hot and bothered?
First question, do you shower carry? That's a big topic tonight.
Oh yeah, good question. Answer that first.
Do I shower carry? Well, that is a
is that a personal
loaded question?
That is a personal and loaded question. What I would direct you to is my Instagram page. There have been photos in there of guns and soap and rubber duckies, and that's all I'm going to say. I'll just leave it.
There's been photos in there of rubber duckies.
Well, on Instagram, there are photos of guns with soap and rubber duckies. So you can draw your own inferences if I am or not fully prepared for any instance in the shower.
Yeah, we have to. There's someone out there that wants to see video. I'm not saying it's me.
I'm not.
Hey, what? I do not have a Patreon, but if that's what it's going to take to make that happen, well, who knows? Maybe that'll be the extra footage on the.
How low would it be?
How low would I sink before
for gun guys? How much are the gun guys suffering? Did they have to start doing shower pics?
Right.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't know. I don't judge.
It could happen.
Give the people what they want. I don't judge.
Okay.
All right. Hot new stuff, because we were talking about SHOT Show too, right?
Yeah.
So, Hank, you went into the booth and you saw the not the Reformation, but the new one, the Franklin
valedictorian.
digital action.
Yeah.
Valedictorian. Yeah.
I remember what
Providence
it is.
or something. Or
Providence. Yeah, that's it. Providence. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of the naming of things.
No,
please. No. If you're going to name something, please create a name that we could remember.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I did see it. Yes.
Yeah. So that there's actually some innovation there. That's actually kind of neat. I think that's kind of cool. I'm not saying it's got a huge application, but it is kind of neat. Mm-hmm. Especially something like 300 Blackout. That would be really cool. But yeah, that's at least something that, whether or not you like it or you're into that, it's at least something that's kind of new. It's thinking outside, somewhat outside of the box, right? There's something at least going on there. That makes me happy.
Yeah, I think so. I think that was cool.
Yeah. Otherwise, 99%, and I was only on the ground for about 30 hours. So 99% of the stuff I saw was just, caliber changes or
aesthetics,
tweaks, aesthetics, right? There wasn't a whole lot of any real substance necessarily this year that I saw. And it's not to say that I didn't miss something, but there were some different stuff. There was one of the one-handed instructor took me or directed me to a booth where they had a different system for changing out barrels, which was kind of neat. They use like a ball bearing system instead of like the Warlock, which I've always found the Warlock hinky. And one of the ones they gave me to check out and test out when I was standing in front of there with them, I actually wound up breaking the latch on. And I'm not like right. But this thing, and I can't remember what the hell the name of it was. This thing was kind of neat. It was different. Not like super innovative or anything, but it uses like what's that quick disconnect on like an air hose? You know how you have that little pull thing? What is that called?
Yeah, it's a little ball.
Yeah, it's like it's like the ball bearing quick disconnect thing for like any air hoses, stuff like that. It uses that concept. How it's going to return to zero, other stuff, I don't know. But I thought it was kind of, while neat, it wasn't like, it's not a variation of something that's already been done before. So something that did catch my eye, Faxon has their new Hell Pup, which it's just them working with Polymer 80 to machine and do the hell out of a Polymer 80 Gen 3 block with their own slide and stuff. But
those are the pistols.
Yeah, that they look really good, and considering all the machining work and everything that's done to them, the MSRP they're talking about is kind of neat, because if you're going to send off a gun for custom tritium night sights with slide cuts, RMR cuts, undercuts, stippling, the whole nine, you're going to run up in money. I know, because wait, I don't have it here. Sorry. I literally just got home, so I've got my Chicago carry on me right now. I don't have my I don't have my I've got my small
what's your Chicago carry? Like a picture of Rahm Emanuel?
It's right there. That's my Chicago carry right there.
So in the vehicle, since I have an Indiana license to carry, under the current laws there, I can carry in the vehicle, but I can't. Technically, I'm not allowed to get out of the vehicle unless I'm taking it out to like lock it in the trunk or something. So this winds up getting locked in the car quite a bit. So I would cry a lot less for a M&P Shield if somebody snatched it and cut the bolt or whatever to get this thing out, as opposed to some of my other firearms.
Now, is that just Cook County, Joe, or is that the entire state of Illinois?
That's the entire state of Illinois.
Oh,
so
wow.
Under the current thing, like I cannot, even if I wanted to, I cannot get a Illinois non-resident license because of the way the current law has been interpreted by Illinois State Police. So I am safe being in the car with it loaded on me in the glove box, wherever, but I can't get out of the car other than to secure it. It's the only way I can get out of the car with. So it's got to stay in the car.
Yeah, that's terrible. By the way, people are saying coupler is the answer to your question. Quick disconnect.
Oh yeah, quick disconnect coupler, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact technical term, but I might have their card here.
Now, would you know if you carry like a Captain America shield in your car and get it stolen, would that make you upset as well?
I do not have a Captain America shield, but if I
they
did,
had them at SHOT Show.
I missed those. That would actually
they had
be
a
kinda
shield
cool.
and they had Thor's hammer. It was pretty cool. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Leo Takedown was the name of that thing. And anyway, I have no idea. This is the first time I ran into it, so I thought it was kind of neat. What else did I see? I saw a newer. I don't even remember. Honestly, there wasn't a whole lot to write home about.
Okay. Understood.
That's a cool thing that happened to me was on Sunday at the Anteri shoot. I got to spend about over an hour with Charlie Melton, who obviously a Navy SEAL, world record holder at 5,000 yards, and someone broke it not too long ago. So he's going to go out in Utah in April and take a shot from 6,000 yards with a new caliber. It's the 408 Tejas that he's helped design. And I was talking to him about it. I was like, oh man, that'd be awesome, you know. And he goes, you want to see the gun? We're like, well, hell yeah. So he goes back into the trailer, pulls this rifle out and puts it down. And there's about 4 or 5 of us sitting around there. He's only shot it like 8 times. And so we got to shoot this rifle. And it was unbelievable to sit there and know that I just shot a rifle that exact rifle in a few months is going to shoot at 6,000 yards, 3.5 miles.
Wow.
Which is pretty cool. It was awesome, man. And the kick was like nothing, like less than a 308. It was unbelievable.
Wow. That is cool. That is cool. What round was it again?
408 Tejas.
408 Tejas.
It should be out in the market apparently sometime soon, but it was pretty cool. It was pretty awesome.
Okay, interesting. I carry my revolver in single action. Says breaking news. Breaking news. Border officials announced the largest fentanyl bust in history. We are going to talk about that.
Yep.
Do you want to just get into it now? We can jump into that. Let me see. I'm going to try to throw up a link here so that Joe can see it. I'll throw it up here in the chat, and I'll throw it up so the folks out there can see it as well. Joe, you would probably be the easiest one of us to explain what the hairy heck fentanyl is.
Sure. Fentanyl is a drug mostly used in anesthesia. Hold on. Oh, this stupid thing's playing music now. Sorry about that. I clicked on the link and the video starts.
Yeah, we don't hear it.
Okay, well, that's good. So yeah, fentanyl is usually a drug given by anesthesiologists in the OR, and then also you can use it in small doses like transdermal patches and stuff like that to relieve pain. It's very, very powerful. And it doesn't take a whole lot to overdose on it. It'll stop your breathing pretty quick as well if you get too much of it. So
it's nasty stuff.
It's killed some people, right?
It is great, amazing stuff when used properly, and it is nothing to mess with if you don't know what you're doing.
Now,
or you're just getting random
synthetic?
Stuff
is it synthetic?
All fentanyl, technically all fentanyl would be synthetic.
Okay.
But I don't know exactly how they're making or bringing it in. From what I understand, they are cranking this stuff out in China, allegedly, and then just selling it to fake shell companies, be it in Mexico or wherever, to get it exported and out. And then once it that way it can clear China, because China actually does technically have rules and laws about exporting it, whereas it's just brought in under the radar in Mexico. They're actually trying to stop its sale in China, allegedly. But I mean, how hard is it to get a fake thing in Mexico to export it, and boom, it's gone.
Yeah. So here's the news. You guys can find this all over the internet right now. The headline is fentanyl seized by Border Patrol in record bust could have killed 57 million, officials say. So a Mexican national was arrested by U.S. Customs and Border Patrol agents on Saturday with enough fentanyl to kill 57 million Americans, according to an internal memo first reported on Wednesday on Tucker Carlson Tonight. The suspect, who wasn't named, allegedly was found in possession of over 114 kilograms of fentanyl, 1 kilogram of fentanyl pills, and 179 kilograms of methamphetamine and a tractor trailer.
See, look, first of all, nobody needs a tractor trailer that big. All right. There's our problem. You know, if we could license tractor trailers, maybe have some kind of registration, and then, you know, maybe a yearly competency test for the drivers, we could avoid this sort of thing.
The only tractor trailer that size is if it's filled with ammo. That's it. That's the only one
That's the only exemption. Good God, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's about 254 pounds of the deadly synthetic opioid.
Pounds.
They said it was enough to kill up to 57 million people potentially.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and obviously people would have to 57 million people would have to ingest this, right? I mean, some way, right?
Right.
You know, one of the things I've always wondered is, I mean, theoretically, depending on where you inject certain things into water supplies and stuff, I mean, if you're, I don't know, it's just bizarre. I mean, it dilutes dilutes too. It's water soluble. It's going to dilute too quickly, but it's just, I hate the things where they're like, oh, it'll kill 57 million people. I mean, that's like, you know, are there 57 million illegal, you know, fentanyl and heroin users in the United States? I mean, are they honestly trying to say that 20% of the population is going to go out there and OD tomorrow?
And I had forgotten that that's what they said was the demise of Prince was fentanyl. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I don't think that people, but the problem that they have been having, correct me if I'm wrong here, there are people taking fentanyl and lots of other drugs, right? People are doing that for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But what's happening is people, especially kids, coming into contact with this stuff, which can be absorbed through the skin. They don't know what it is. They come into contact with it. They absorb it, and boom, it has an effect on them. And, you know, people have to figure out later what exactly did they touch, you know. So Jake Delholm says it's and I think he's being sarcastic because he's doing quotes. It's a manufactured crisis. But
I see what he did there. It's a manufactured crisis.
Yeah. But I think, like, obviously Fox News is trying to, like, you know, be real dramatic. If it bleeds, it leads kind of thing with it. But, you know, it's serious to think that there's that much of this stuff. If they captured one person doing that, think of how many other people slip through. And this stuff is going out into the world, into America specifically, other places, obviously. And there's no controls over it, so people can come across it. Your kids might pick up something with it somewhere. You might touch something and have a reaction, and you don't know. I could tell you guys that I can't take painkillers. I have very bad reactions to painkillers. So, you know,
I try not to take them just because I don't like medicine or pills to begin with. So I try not to do much of anything if I don't have to.
Yeah. So, you know, I think that it's interesting. Lots of stuff is coming into the country. You know, I guess that's one of the arguments that we need to control the border. There's lots of arguments for that, right? Jake says they actually make fentanyl lollipops. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Holy crap.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Okay. That's insane. So...
Wow. I mean, there's some crazy stuff. I remember when I was growing up, you could drink, you could smoke a little weed, you know, a little bit of this, that, and the other. But now, like, my daughter's 21, and I'm terrified because there's so many things that our people are able to come up with, concoctions, that it takes a second to put something in someone's drink, and you never know. Because, I mean, it's amazing what people are doing. And I hear about these prescription pill parties where all you got to do is bring a bottle of pills from home. They throw all these pills into a bowl and you start grabbing pills. We don't know what's in there. That's scary, dude. That is scary.
What happened to the days when kids just smoke weed?
Exactly.
Drank 40s.
Exactly. I don't know where those days went.
Yeah, Common Core.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Common Core. And it's probably. I mean, I'm not an advocate for drug use of any kind, except for alcohol. You know, in moderation, of course. But bourbon and
the irony,
medicinal bourbon. But that said, you know, I think, and I'd really like to see some more data as it continues to come out, where all these states that are legalizing marijuana, you wind up seeing it. We know for sure we've already seen decrease in opioid use in states where they've legalized at least medical marijuana. So we do know it affects, it has a positive impact on the amount of opioid use.
Yeah.
As far as the rest of it, I mean, I don't, I hear stories all the time of people being like, oh, you want to legalize heroin. I'm like, well, if we legalize heroin, are you going to go out and do it tomorrow? How many people do you know that would start doing heroin if it was legal tomorrow?
Yeah.
People
I don't know.
who are going to do it are already doing it.
Yeah.
The rest of the
I'm going to avoid all drugs at all costs, man. So,
right.
But everyone's different on that. So there's some people out there that are just going to go and party, till they drop. And the rest of us are just going to go about our business.
Those people are going to do it anyway. They're already doing it.
Yeah, they're already doing it. Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I'm a big proponent of legalizing it, not just for some of the effects to help veterans with PTSD, which I mean, the studies on that are irreproachable at this point. There's all the countries that have done it, especially all the work out of Canada that's done it. It's just huge. And then anecdotally, all the benefits as far as decreased opioid use. I mean, I was back before I injured my shoulder. I was a firefighter and EMT, and I can tell you, never once did I have anyone die from marijuana. Never once did I had anyone who had smoked or eaten an edible or anything ever attack me. Right? The amount of people from other drugs and alcohol that would just go nuts on you in the back of the ambulance or attack you, or just because they were so zonked out, not necessarily because, it was me. It was just, it was insane. So I say legalize it. And I think hopefully we're going to see the rest of it. I think that'll alleviate a lot. And it'll take huge pressure off the border as well.
Well, you're also talking about tax revenue. I mean, how much money in taxes would be able to be raised to take care of other projects, but also once you start legalizing stuff and it's the government is no longer a controlled substance, you can start doing a lot more. You get a lot more funding for research and actually dive into what the research is, because they're not going to be afraid of touching this stuff because it's banned. But if you legalize it, there'll be a lot more research and get the benefits and the downside to all this stuff as well.
Yeah, man. I think there's a lot. First of all, we have too many laws.
Yeah,
very true.
That's one of the problems. And we're criminalizing things and putting people in jail and taking away people's rights for really stupid ass reasons. There's a lot of stuff that just should not be illegal. So
I like Ray. He says 4 drunk guys start a fight, 4 stone guys start a band. I like that.
I like that. Yeah. Before I forget this, Alex Capiza says the real issue with it, talking about fentanyl, isn't the use of the fentanyl, it's the heroin that is being cut with it and no one knows about it. That's interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
So what he's talking about there is you can substitute part of the dose of heroin that you were going to get with fentanyl to get a same or similar or better high, if that's even possible with heroin. Because once you've done it once, everything after that is just all downhill. I do not know, but from the ton of people that I've spoken with, either addicts or recovering addicts or people that I had to treat and deal with in one way or another, be it with fire department or later, I was a clinician for about a dozen years. Only the first time is it ever possibly maybe good, and after that you're just chasing. They call it chasing a dragon, whatever you want to call it, but you'll never get it again. I can never, hearing it and describing it, I can never imagine why anyone would want to do that. That does not seem like a good time to me. You can listen to some of the benefits of some other or perceived highs or whatever, and think, oh well, whatever. But there is nothing about that seems fun to me.
Well, let me ask you this, Joe, because I don't know much about all this stuff.
And I'm not an expert by any means.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't know anything about drugs or in terms of taking drugs and stuff like that. It's always been a thing to me that I've avoided. I don't even honestly. I'll drink a beer or something like that, or maybe a glass of wine every now and then. Had a glass with Lola last night since it was her birthday. But I mean, usually those things put me to sleep. They put me in. I like to have my mind active and be the way that I am right now, right? Just jumping around doing things. I need the energy.
Yeah. So if there's this much of this fentanyl seized, there's obviously that much, I would imagine, demand in America for it. So is this, like I said, has this been around for a long time? Because I've just been hearing about this basically since Prince died, but I've never heard of this stuff really, but obviously this amount has been brought in. So there must be a demand for it, correct?
Yeah, well, part of this is brought on by society. So there was you remember the whole Rush Limbaugh thing, painkillers and stuff like that, you know, the stuff that he was on. And I'm only pointing that out to say that that was kind of what really woke up part of the medical community. There's this whole side gig for anesthesiologists set up of pain clinics, pain management. And a lot of addicts realized they could get in on this, and they duped a lot of doctors into writing a lot of prescriptions they probably shouldn't have. At the same time, there are people who may have been more predisposed to addiction than others that got on certain pain-killing medications, narcotics. And then when all this got tapered out and weeded out, and they started really being a lot more diligent on what they wrote, how long they wrote, and to who, because they were starting to get cracks down from the DEA saying, hey, you're writing too many. Now, you know, you've got a pencil pusher at the DEA telling doctors what they can and can't do. I have a problem with that. At the same time, that created the opposite backlash, where you have, you know, millions, tens of millions, theoretically, of law-abiding citizens that are in chronic pain for one thing or another that medical marijuana could have taken care of for some of these people, right? Depending on the severity. Well, now you have these people that are cut off from their narcotics, and they're told to go back to things like a leave or whatever the case may be, right? I mean, and there are some other non-narcotics as well. I've taken some for my shoulder in the past when I've aggravated it, and they do nothing. I would much rather just take, you know, some ibuprofen than some of the crap they've prescribed to me over the years. So you have these people that are law-abiding citizens that now are trying to figure out, well, how am I going to treat and deal this pain? They've been on these different narcotics for, in some cases, years. So these aren't, you know, like your typical run-of-the-mill, you know, these are people in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s who need this to function, you know, to not be in debilitating pain.
Yeah.
And
lots of people in pain
lots of people.
Yeah.
And these again, these are not, you know, your typical criminals. These have regular jobs or grandparents, you know, grandmothers. They're not in any way bad people. And now they're left strung out to dry. They're in horrible pain. And what do? So they start turning to different, you know, trying to get the drugs that they used to get on the black market. And that's created this whole subculture of you know, yet another subset of the black market and drug trade.
Yeah, it created a demand, and of course Mexico's like, boom, we could fill that.
Yeah, and they filled it overnight. So now you have all these poor people that are doing it, and it's sad. It really is. It's sad. It's tragic, because a lot of this problem was created, and now it's just like, oh well, boom, you know, sorry. And again, it's government. I'm not a fan of the government. I want as few laws as possible, and damn near every problem in this country has been created by government. They're the ones who have set into motion the different things that have put us to where we are, and they're the problem masquerading as a solution.
They're constantly trying to tweak, because they are trying to tweak everything, and it's a schizophrenic way of tweeting it that is connected to who's in the White House, who controls Congress. That's bullshit. You know, we just need like laws laid out to be. We first of all need few laws. We need them simple, and then we need them to get the hell out of the way of everything. If people are in pain, they need to be treated for that pain. Otherwise, people are going to do other things to lash out to deal with their pain, right?
And if you haven't been in some of this chronic pain, it is really hard. I mean, I'm not taking anything at the moment, and as I start on my next gig to try and start exercising again and getting back in shape from my last injury, it's just an aggravating problem that never goes away in my shoulder. And if I don't exercise, I can't gain weight. I can't, you know, I need that to be healthy. And at the same time, if I push too hard, I aggravate my shoulder. But when I injured this like 6 years ago, oh my God, you cannot function. You cannot think straight. It's hard to describe if you have never been in that kind of pain 24 hours a day. It's absolutely debilitating.
I think I understand. Yeah.
So for the people out there, because I see some folks commenting, and one of the reasons I'm mentioning is I see some folks commenting in the chat that say, you know, they've been on opioids for 10 years for chronic pain, and it sucks. And it's awful. I can't imagine, you know, the most I've ever had to been on is about 3 months. But when I was able to wean myself off, switch to other non-narcotics and get back on the path. But it is awful. And if you get on it for that long, There start resistances, tolerances start building up. There's all kinds of issues with, well, we won't get into the bowel movements and stuff like that. I mean, it's not a fun place to be, and I really feel for the folks who are out there for that. It really sucks.
Yeah, I think living life is pain. And I'm not saying that people should deal with it. I don't agree with that at all. Just like,
No.
deal with it. I have Crohn's disease, and my Crohn's is not super active right now. And I'm not saying that's not the worst thing in the world. But when it was active, it was pretty freaking painful. I can describe it as arthritis in your stomach, in your intestines, which is not fun.
That doesn't sound fun at all.
No. So I think I understand that. And we've got to find, I think we have ways of dealing with all these things. There's just so many things that get in the way of this, right? So many ways the systems that the government is setting up out there makes all these things complicated. And then we're creating outside industries that are doing things. I saw someone else say, yeah, they caught this truck, right? Then imagine how many other trucks, imagine how many other things are coming in and out. Why is there a need for that when, all these things can be dealt with pretty simply, and we could deal with people individually? It's just like the whole thing we were talking about with Common Core in school. Why are we dealing with everything and everyone like it's one thing? Like we're all the same.
Yeah, it's cookie cutters, just like they try and do with Common Core or anything else. I mean, since we brought that up earlier, they want everything has to fit the exact same mold. They want a structured society where everybody fits into this mold. You're just smart enough to operate the machines, and you're not smart enough to think for yourself. And that's been a classic tactic that we've seen play out. And I hate to say it, but the more that we see over these, especially the information that's coming out of the past couple of months, as it turns out, McCarthy might have been right.
Yeah, Mike has a great point out there. He says they're just trying to keep you drugged up or dependent on meds, and it's an agenda to keep money circulating within the system. And that's, I mean, there's some truth to that.
Yeah. I think it's a complicated thing to solve. There are people in pain that needs to be dealt with. And I think there are ways to deal with that, and it's individual for everyone. Like for me, I found with Crohn's that it's based on what I eat. So if you realize that it's based on what you eat, you avoid that. It's also based on stress. So you got to try to avoid that also as much as you can. Stress is an impossible thing to avoid 100%. But there's like everyone, there's mostly nowadays when you go to a hospital, it's just like a school. They treat you like this thing that you have. Everyone has that same exact thing. So we're going to treat it. You're not an individual. And they're not looking at individual ways of dealing with you. Now, better hospitals, more expensive and whatever it is, they deal with everyone as an individual. There's a whole bunch of genetic things, you're predisposed to stuff or whatever it is, the way that your body deals with it versus someone else. We just don't have that. We just have like a lot of people just throwing drugs or antibiotics at things. And then we just have the government just out there going, this is illegal, but this is totally legal. This is fine. This is terrible. We were talking about this yesterday. They're trying to put like third trimester abortions, right, into effect. So literally right before you are born, you could be aborted. But then they're like, oh, we got to do something about all these kids that are getting killed by guns. We got to get rid of all the guns. Yeah. Makes like those two concepts make no damn sense.
Well, when you start looking at it from two different perspectives, you look at it from the one perspective that not a lot of these things people do, some of these folks do make any sense at all. And then there's the other side of it where you look at the way abortions disproportionately affect certain races, right? So what is it, 70 some odd % of abortions are from Black people, right? And
we would have to pull up the stats. I'm not 100% sure what it is.
It's a massive discrepancy. It's massively discrepancy. So you look at some of these things, just like, I've had a lot of discussions recently with a lot of folks, including, I didn't catch him the other night, but Kevin Dixie was on your thing. The whole gun control is racist thing. I've been saying that for years, and there's people saying a lot longer than I have. But you look at a lot of these things that stem from that. Quite honestly, when you look at where abortions were pushed initially, where they went initially, it's not like Dirty Dancing, right? It's not like that. All right, you look at where it's been pushed, where most of these clinics have been opened up, right? It is genocide against African American babies. That is, I mean, against all babies, but I mean, when you look at where it is, I mean, these things are coming from a point of racists and bigots. And,
yeah, I think it's economical.
To,
it's based on economy as well. There's lots of poorer people, lots of people of color. That's where that's directed towards. And then you have people on the flip side of that. Like, actually, you've got wealthy people in America that are going to China and Africa to adopt babies and do all kinds. Just like, what's going on here? These guys have to go adopt babies. These people are killing their babies that they're having. We're all here.
Yeah. And if one of the best ways I can point to that and look to that is, where a lot of these clinics were being opened, they weren't being opened in like the backwoods of West Virginia, right? Where there are areas that were as economically depressed or more economically depressed, right? These weren't being open in those areas. So anyway, I don't want to get too far off into the weeds.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. I think it's genocide, without a doubt.
Again, it's one of those conversations that, just like earlier with the key bar and the tactical walls knockoffs, right? It's one of those things that I've been talking about recently, and it's been a crazy 2 weeks, and there's so much I want to talk about. It's just I need to start my own like rant cast or something, because it's.
Yeah. Hey, we're here for you. We're here for you, man. What else has you fired? What else has you fired up? Let us know right now. What else? I sense, let's like sit back on the couch. Man. I said, what is it? Something really got under your skin. What is it, man? Let's talk about it.
It's like the airing of the grievances in January. That's what's going on right now. Later will be the feats of strength.
So what's the big thing? What's the big thing that's got under your skin?
Heating issues. So I had a boiler issue that finally got resolved, and then the heater out in the barn, where I live on a small farm, so we've got a well, and the water actually comes up into the barn and then goes back underground and gets piped over to the house. So the heater went out in the freaking barn, which is actually, I'm gonna have to jump off here in a couple minutes because there's a part that's coming that my buddy's bringing over and we're gonna put in soon. But that thing went out, of course, right around the coldest night of the year, and I got the jumpers crossed and everything to work. Without bypass the actual like fuse. So not exactly the best thing that's going to get taken care of. But that way our water.
That sounds like one of those like, here, honey, hold my beer.
It's very close to that. It's working now. But so yeah, I just this cold weather, I don't like it. He should have built the wall. I know Trump's not a fan of Mexicans. What about snow Mexicans? What about the Canadians, right? I mean, those people up there are sending down a hell of a lot of cold air right now. This polar vortex, that's all on Canada. That's 100% on Canada. That's where it came from.
Hashtag ban Canada.
Ban Canada. That's it.
You know what I don't understand? You know what I don't understand? Like the news is saying record cold temperatures. You know what I noticed that they don't do that they used to do? When they would put up temperatures, record cold lows or highs, they would put up like since 1951, they would go back, right? And they would put dates in there. They're not doing that anymore. They're just saying record cold temperatures. And then I guess like if I think Trump said something like, oh, it's so cold, what happened to that global warming? They're like, look at this idiot. He doesn't understand that global warming causes global freezing or whatever it is. The funny thing about all of this, if they want to claim logic, is that they're not putting up the dates. Because when I looked up dates today, I can't remember them right now, but you can look it up. We're not at record low temperatures. We're not. It gets cold. It's January.
It was colder last year here, at least.
So where I'm at here, the heart of the polar vortex, if you will. When I left this morning, it was negative 26.
Okay.
That's cold. So the record for this day, or I don't know if it's the coldest temperature ever, but anyway, the record for either coldest temperature ever or this day, whatever it was 1985 at negative 27. So we were 1 degree off from that here.
Yeah.
And then before that, it goes back, however many years.
Yeah.
So it's winter, it gets cold. Now, what we just saw here, I will tell you, I spent a little bit of time outside, to just try and see, because, I haven't been in weather outside quite this cold, especially not with the wind. We had wind chills negative 55. I think that was being conservative. Because I was outside for about 4 minutes, actually doing some physical exertion outside, bundled up in my core. And after about 4 or 5 minutes with that wind, I was done. I mean, like done. I stumbled back to the house. I was almost slightly delirious. It was that freaking cold. And I was bundled up. So yeah, the negative 20s are no joke. It's hard to describe how much colder it is, because you guys have seen videos when I've been out there, at like -10, screwing around with like the mutant and stuff. That was 0 to -10 about that, playing around. But this is it's just otherworldly type cold. It's hard to describe.
Okay.
That like 10, 15 degrees is like a world of difference, not to mention the wind on top of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead. I think you were trying to say something, Trey. Is he there? Did Trey freeze? Hold on a second. Trey.
I think he's frozen.
Uh-oh. Yeah. I don't know. I've been thinking like he's really still.
Yeah, he is really still. He's thinking really hard.
Yeah, he should be coming back. He should be coming back on here in a second. Yeah. We'll see. He should be signing back in. I don't know. He might have some issues with his internet or something over there. So he's frozen. Okay, let's see. Now, we were discussing at the beginning of the show, we were talking about Mr. Pink. I don't know if you know
Mr. Pink from Reservoir Dogs.
No, Mr. Pink, Carrie Hart, who's married to the rock star Pink. He was teaching his 7-year-old how to shoot a gun at 22, and he put up video, and there was like huge backlash to that. Oh, here he goes. There's Trey. He's back.
I was hearing everything. I was on my side. I didn't hear anything or see anything weird. I was just listening to the conversation. I didn't know it was wrong. That's weird.
Yeah. So I was bringing back up the whole thing with Carrie Hart, the guy who's married to Pink, and teaching their 7-year-old how to shoot. And then, it became like it's a big thing in the news. I saw it this morning. It's still out there. So what do you think about that, Joe? I know you don't have, you've got to go here, but I'd like to get your opinion on that.
So, other than teaching his 7-year-old daughter how to shoot, there was nothing like unsafe or anything that they actually showed, right?
I think she did a great job. She did a good job.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I have 3 daughters. My firstborn, she started shooting her first. She got her cricket 22 and started shooting it at 3 years old. By 4.5, 5. I didn't let her, but she could load, unload, do everything on her own. My youngest she was shooting, about 3.5, 4, but she required a lot more intense supervision, like immediate, intense supervision, just because she was a little more random when she was younger. Mm-hmm. But now they're older. They're 12 and 14, and my oldest is 21. And I mean, they've been shooting their entire lives. I think it's awesome to get them interested, not just interested in it, but for safety's sake, even if they're not really into it. Because my Chris, our 21-year-old, well, now almost 22, she's not really into guns now, but she likes them. But she's just,
how old is she?
Really 22. She's 22.
What's she into?
Just, I don't know, whatever things, not guns.
I'm just curious. She's there's a lot of stuff in the world. Huh?
Her fiance, mostly,
Oh, there you go. I figured it had something to do with that.
So, he's all right. Considering she could have done a lot worse. I'll say that. Okay. Anyway, it's getting that respect and teaching them, letting them know what to do, taking the mystery out of it. I think is a big thing. That's the biggest thing. Taking the mystery out of it. That way, they know what it is. They know what it can do. They don't have to be like competent with them necessarily, but at least so that they know what they can do. They know what they're capable of, and it removes the mystery out of it. Then they're less likely to play around or mess around with it because they know what to do. Yeah. At least in my experience, that's been the case, and I think it was the same experience when I was growing up. I didn't actually get to shoot any of my dad's guns until I was 12, and I actually had more experience through the Boy Scouts when I was younger, Cub Scouts, whatever it was, before I was, when I was younger, like 8 to 12, whatever it was. Then I did at home, and I think that was a detriment to me growing up because I was very curious and interested about guns. And they were kind of slightly taboo. So, it was one of those things where I would sneak in and I would try and check it out. And once I actually got acclimated to one and I knew I had no more urge to do that anymore. So I think that curiosity can kill. I think my wife was on the other side of it. She grew up with a lot of guns in the house. Her dad loved guns. And she was shooting from a very young age, basically the same age as my daughters. She never had any curiosity there, and you could say maybe that's because she was a girl. The other side of it was anytime she wanted to check out or do anything, her dad showed it to her, let her, they'd take them out back, shoot, stuff like that. Because I think you remove the curiosity, you remove a lot of the dangers from it.
Yeah.
And I think
agree
that's
with
a big
that.
thing. And I've seen it in my life. I've seen it in other kids' lives, where, you know, they get curious, and you got to remove that curiosity. Curiosity kills a cat. Curiosity kills kids.
Yeah, I agree with that. It looks like you're back, Ghost.
I haven't left. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
And you're actually ghosted because there's still
There's two of you.
I don't know. I've been sitting here listening to Joe. I haven't touched a thing. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I don't know.
Maybe
My
the
internet's
NRA,
strong
the
and
NRA is
everything.
hacking us or something's going on.
Guarantee it. I guarantee it.
We didn't talk about that. I don't know. Did you guys check? So Michael was talking about this yesterday, that he said, and I'm going to look at mine now. He said that there were chips in the IDs for SHOT Show.
Yeah, there was. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Lola looked at hers and there was. Let me see. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, they're on all of them. Yeah.
Yeah, there is a chip. So check that out. There is a chip in there. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
There's a chip.
I was talking to a buddy of mine
Very interesting.
Yeah, I was talking to a buddy of mine who's in the industry, and he was saying that they get analytics. They got analytics every night from SHOT Show that basically said how many people they have them, like these sensors all through SHOT Show, and as you walk by it tracks where you were, and they'll tell them how many people stopped by their booth, maybe how long they were at their booth, all sorts of stuff. So yeah, they're watching.
Yeah. So what do we feel about that? Is that good? Is that bad?
I think there should have been more. I think there should have been some disclosure on that, right? So I got my thing right here, you know. I think there should have been some. I think there should have been some
Mine's
disclosure.
still on my badge holder. I haven't taken it out yet.
I think there should have been some disclosure on that. You know, I didn't see anything. Granted, I don't read a lot on that, but I didn't see anything.
Yeah, that one is.
I didn't see anything about it, and they just kind of slipped it. So this was my badge, and they just it was kind of slipped and taped.
Yeah, it's glued.
It was glued like together on here.
Yeah,
the way it was.
This is how it is. This is one right here. It's actually glued on pretty good.
Right. So, so is yours glued on the outside, or did they glue it inside?
It's glued on the inside between the two pieces. Yeah.
Because on mine they glued it to the inside, and I didn't really. I just kind of like dropped it. I was rushing through. I actually got my badge at the airport, so I just stuck it like in the badge holder and stuck it in my bag as I was because I grabbed it while I was waiting for luggage to come because there was no line.
Right.
So I really didn't even realize there was anything in there until later. So I didn't even.
This is why
I hate to say I didn't realize there was this little bulge in the bottom of it. But when I got it, I slipped it right into my badge holder, and it didn't. It went in the badge holder until I took it back out. I didn't even know it was in there.
Yeah, it didn't register. I know that we got ours at Media Day, so we went and stood. They had a booth there. You showed your ID and stuff like that, and then you got it. And then we put it into the badge holders ourselves, but I didn't notice the extra weight. It was cold. I think that this is the reason why, because in previous years, SHOT Show has just sent these things to us ahead of time, and you saw a bunch of people making posts like, "Hey, I got my badge for SHOT Show. Be jealous."
Right.
And then we didn't see that because they made people actually collect the badges, except the people that were exhibiting, like Walter that had a booth at SHOT Show. He got his badges. I think this is why, because they didn't want us to know these things were in there and then do something with it before we came to the show.
Right.
So, but so it's a good question. Is that within their rights? I think it's probably within their rights. It would have been nice for them to let people know.
I'm sure they buried in the tech. MW Tactical is saying that the person who gave him his badge briefed him about it and stated what they were doing and why.
Yep. Same here.
And they told you what they were doing?
Yeah.
And what was that?
They basically, I got it at the media room on Sunday afternoon after Antares. And they basically said that there's several things that they're doing. One, it's to make sure that if you put in for a badge, that they want you to actually come to SHOT Show. So they're trying to get rid of people that get their badge and then never pick it up, or they pick their badge up, they never come to SHOT Show, stay in their hotel room. They're trying to cut down on people that are applying for badges but never use their badge. But two, they're also trying to figure out where people are going, and not to find out where you are, but for the marketing side. Some of these companies have asked them how many people are coming to our booths, and we're trying to figure out a way, is it worth coming? So I think what they're trying to do is not only prove to companies how many people are coming around their booths, but they could also help them maybe figure out how much to charge for a certain booth in a certain location. If they're getting feedback from companies saying it's way too damn much, be in the corner of the dungeon, and now there's reports saying, man, like only 7% of the people went to this booth, then maybe they need to look at some of the pricing and all that stuff. But more important is also security as well. I wanted to make sure that people weren't copying and photocopying badges and coming in without really having a way to check it.
Well, the security aspect I would call BS on, because how would they?
So here's the thing: you're trying to say, how would they know?
How would they know if let's say you had a photocopied badge, right?
Right.
How would they know? How would they know that? Because there's no reverse check there, right? They know if this is present. They have no way of, because they didn't, when you go through, there was no like ding or anything. And to get in the media room, they used the old school barcode reader for the thing here. So so the chip for that was useless.
I agree with that.
You know what's funny? I saw people, because you know how they scan that, right? They scan that thing so that they can figure out your email and stuff like that. I saw people that didn't have that. So someone
didn't have what?
They didn't have that little scanning thing that you could scan right there.
Oh yeah, for the QR code. Yeah.
So and then someone told me, well, those are fake badges. So because I would figure you can, if you're going to Photoshop it, you can just use
Photoshop the thing on there. Yeah, you would take the whole thing and then just, I mean, it's easy enough to put somebody else's name over here. You couldn't get into the press room with this, but you could go in the rest of the show.
Right, but that's probably all part of the game. They're probably trying to figure out who was doing like the high level faking of the badges and all that kind of stuff. So Alex Capiza says the chip is key to the barcode. I believe that it's got the same.
Oh yeah, thing. It's got a unique identifier on the back here. The barcode, the chip has its own barcode that they must have scanned before they slept it into my thing. Again, I'm at the airport trying to grab my bags. The carousel, it's not off. I saw there was basically no line at the thing to pick up the badges there at the airport. I ran in, I'm on the phone, I'm texting, I'm ordering my Uber, and they hand it to me. I shove it in my thing and I'm off, and nobody told me anything about it. So
yeah, interesting. Yeah. Lots of fodder for
I don't know. Had I have known, I would have taken it out of there and just chucked it so they didn't know where I went. Just because, but now maybe, if you get your badge and you don't actually take it on the floor, I don't know. Who knows? We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with it. I'm sure everything that they're doing for it is for their benefit and their benefit alone, to be able to charge more money. I doubt they're going to give anybody a discount on their booth because there was less traffic. I'm sure they're going to use it the other way to boost prices or to, who knows?
But we also had to look at the concept that possibly this has nothing to do with SHOT Show. It might be a Sands thing, that Sands Expo might have gotten sold by this company for every convention that comes through Sands. This company is going to run their barcode scanning for them or whatever trackers. And it very well could be they didn't have a choice. I don't know.
Didn't somebody say that vendors were getting some of that information almost real time every night?
Yeah.
I think someone did say that here.
So SHOT was definitely obviously then in the loop on it. They knew.
Yeah.
And they told some people about it. So
yeah. What I'm saying is maybe Sands. What I'm saying is maybe Sands has a thing that the actual convention center got sold on this product, and everyone that uses that convention center now uses it. So it might be part of the deal. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just speaking on my ass here.
They could be.
I don't know.
I hate.
Does your ass have a chip in it? That's.
I plead the fifth.
Oh, Hank, I'm sorry I had to cut myself short. Yeah, things here, I gotta go. But thank you so much. I'm sorry I'm not able to stay.
Oh, that's cool, man. Thanks for coming on.
I need to get this done. No, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. We'll have Lola get with me and we'll get a full night on here.
Absolutely, man. Get the stuff fixed. Take care of the necessities, man. That's what's important.
Good to see you, Trey. Thank you, everybody out there.
Be good, man.
It was a great show. Thank you in the comments. We'll see everybody later. Take care.
Yeah, absolutely. And then let's not forget that Trey is giving away some swag. So you can go ahead and go, Joe. I know you got to go. Yeah.
All right, see,
Yeah. So Trey's giving away some swag. I don't know what numbers you were looking for.
I just said we wanted to get to 100 thumbs up early on, and we were at
So
115. So
there you go. So you can give away some swag.
yeah, man.
I don't know how you want to do that.
Man, you can ask a question if you want.
Okay.
We can do something like that. Yeah.
We'll think of something here. We'll think of some kind of question.
And
then the other thing that I wanted to do, and I'm gonna give you guys a name and an email address that I'm gonna put into the chat right now. Let's see. I got to figure this out first. So hold on. Let me see. Let me try to get this right here. Okay. So there's a name here that I'm going to put up here. So our friend Trey that comes on that owns
other Trey. Yeah.
Yeah. The other Trey that owns Aries Firearms Training would like us to send an email off to this person that I'm going to put in the chat right now. I'm going to put their thing, Christine Rock, and I'm going to put the email address up there. And the whole reason for this is Trey, I think, he's expanding the Aries Firearms Training here in Florida, and they're looking for some people to, there's some kind of pushback going on. So they're looking for some folks to send them some emails. I'm just going to, let me see. Basically, he says you don't have to write anything crazy, just that you go to Aries Range because it's safe and you have fun and your family and friends go there as well. Keep it simple. He says you want to say that you took some training, it helped out, etc., just to help forward the cause there so he can expand the range. He's going to be on next week and we could probably get more in depth into it, and if anyone has any questions out there, let me know.
I don't know the particulars, like you said. We were just talking about it in the pre-chat, but yeah, and you don't have to be from Florida, like you said. You don't have to be from Florida, even if you've never been there. The fact that there's been some pushback for the expansion of a range, a shooting club, and a range and a training facility, that in itself is an infringement upon what we're trying to do in the Second Amendment. So email them, let them know, hey, I've never been there, but who doesn't want the expansion of a training facility that's trying to help people become more responsible with their firearms? I don't get it,
Yeah, there's always people. That's the problem, man. There's always someone out there that's trying to I want to say cock block, but
you're right. Yeah,
someone's always trying to block for whatever reasons.
Yep.
And we've got to get together as a community and help out Trey. He's always here on the show. He's a good guy. I've done a bunch of things, like we did the whole retro rifle thing at Aries and some other events that you guys have seen out there.
Yep.
That we've shared with you. So, we just want to try to do our thing to help him out. He'll be on next week. He can give us a better explanation of what's going on. And I'm posting a whole bunch of stuff right now. So if you can, shouldn't really take that long. Just I put some details in here, but basically just be respectful, be quick, brief, send out some emails, and that will help out Trey. So
absolutely.
There you go. And if you want to know any more, Lola is out there. You can ask her, and she could, do something, because it's
Lola
limited.
Is the all-knowing, man. She's the
I'm limited to how much I could throw up here in the chat right now.
I wish you wouldn't throw up at all, but that's just a whole different story.
Right. Right. Okay. Good one. And okay. So then now, when it comes to this giveaway, what are you giving away?
Oh man. Well, I can go through it again. So we're gonna do the Aguila hat. I don't know if I'm gonna see if I can get that. That's a pretty cool hat. Pretty cool hat. Some iPro sunglasses from Venture Gear Tactical. These are pretty sweet. These are the ones that I actually wear on the range and on all that stuff.
Yeah, very cool.
You got a Walk the Talk America bracelet from Sedini. If you guys aren't familiar with Walk the Talk America, phenomenal organization that Michael Sedini and Rob Pikus and Coleon are all involved with to try to get the gun community on the forefront of mental health awareness. So it's a really good organization. Go check them out. We've got an Alien Gear holsters sticker, a Black Rain Ordnance sticker, and the Fort Scott Munitions patch.
Yes. Shout out to that's pretty cool. Those Fort Scotts.
Oh yeah, they are
patches.
Awesome people. Awesome
I don't know.
people.
I think I might have one of those. Those are actually.
I think you might.
I might have one somewhere. I might have one. I definitely have the ammo for sure.
Oh yeah,
I got the ammo for sure. They're doing 450. I'm building a 450 Bushmaster
Bush,
right
yeah,
now
nice,
as we
nice.
speak. So that's we're putting that together. We were almost done with it the other day, but like in all builds, there's always something that you don't have or something that
Yeah.
doesn't fit properly, and you have to go back to the drawing board. So, okay, how do you want to?
I don't know, man. We
How do
can
you wanna
ask a
do this? How do
question
you
from
wanna do
something
this?
earlier in the chat or something,
Yeah.
or you can just do a trivia question. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to think back.
I got one. Let's
Okay.
see
What is
here.
it?
Let's do this. For the first person to put it in the chat, what state is Fort Scott Munitions located?
Okay. There you go. Good one.
Because we all know that one. But what state is Fort Scott Munitions located? First person answering the chat and gets the swag
Yeah.
pack.
Let's see who does it. What state is Fort Scott Munitions? You should have been able to Google by
There
now.
it is.
Okay. Weston Probst. He said
Weston
Kansas.
got it.
Yeah. All right. Boom.
Weston, I think I might have your email, bro. But if not, go ahead and email me live@ghosttactical.us. I'm pretty sure I got your address. But if not, email to me again and I'll get it sent out tomorrow for you, bro. Good job.
Yeah. And Simpson Road Larry wants to know what was the new AR-15 caliber, 350 something. Wasn't there like some kind of new caliber at the show?
Man, I saw a lot of some really cool calibers. There was one that CloverTac found that Bishop had, and it was the 475 short mag. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
The 5mm coming back. I mean, there's some
Winchester. I think Winchester had something.
Winchester probably did. I saw some PCCs. They were talking about being able to be with 357 mag and 44 mag and some, rimfire calibers that they're going to try to get into some PCCs. So, I mean, there's some cool innovation going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
500 blackout, Clover said. I forgot about the 500 blackout.
Oh, there was a 500 blackout. And if
Yeah.
you guys are wondering, I'm like, someone lent me a Remington 700 because actually, I'm going to show it here in a second. But Elftman has a new Remington 700 trigger, and I'm trying to figure out what's the trigger pull on this thing. So I'm trying to do.
Let's do it live.
Yeah, so I'm trying to do it live, and I think you're supposed to like put the trigger pull thing right there, and then you're supposed to press the button to reset it, and then pull the thing. No.
No, what did it say?
It says low. So this, I don't know if that means the battery is low. Yeah, probably my battery is low. Okay, well that's a fail. What is it? I thought the battery. Remember, I was trying to check the battery.
Yeah, you were pre-chat.
Yeah, the battery is low. Just so that you guys think I'm not. I guess that means the battery is low on this thing.
That's right.
They need to make these things solar power or wind up.
Simpson Larry says the 350 Legend. I did not see anything in the 350 Legend. Did you?
I saw something. There was something from Winchester.
Yeah.
Someone was
the Winchester 350. Yeah. I did not see it. So I was at the Winchester booth on range day, but I was with Pincus shooting the PD-10. I didn't even check out what else they had over there.
Yeah, you know who told me? I think the Gould brothers told me. Okay, now this thing won't shut off either.
That's why the battery's low.
Okay, wait, it just went. Okay, this is a Lyman, by the way. I didn't even realize that.
You've got a new listener, Callum Swan, out there says, "What is this podcast about? I'm new." Man, how much time do you have?
Yeah. It's pretty simple. It's about whatever the hell we want to talk about. We're gun guys, and it's about whatever we want to talk about. However the breeze blows us.
That's the great thing about gun people is we don't just have to talk guns 24/7. We've talked education, we've talked fentanyl, we've talked everything. That's what the gun community is. People think that we're just redneck hillbillies.
We're talk not. Sex in the shower or shower carry.
Well, shower carry, it's one of those things,
Yeah. AKA that's code for sex in the shower.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. By the way, this show is not for little children.
Right.
Just saying.
Now there's someone out there, Scamp says he's from Arkansas, I think, and that's where I live right now. And I want to can I do a quick shout out for the state of Arkansas?
Absolutely.
We've had some really cool stuff happen in the last couple of days. And I got a text from a buddy of mine who's a state senator, and he said that the House approved a bill that will drop the concealed carry permit in half. Instead of being the initial cost of $100 and then a renewal for $50. It's going to be $50 for the initial and $25 for a 5-year renewal, which basically means $5 a year. and the Senate will vote on it next week, and it should be going through pretty quickly. So congratulations for Arkansas.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Making it more accessible, making it more. It should be free.
Well, I think that's what's going to happen. Is this has kind of been the back door? They've been trying to get constitutional carry in Arkansas for a long time. They've had to go back door, and I think this is one of the plays. So now in a couple of years, they can come back and say, we've already cut it in half. Everything's good. Let's just go back to constitutional carry. So I think this was a play.
Yeah. By the way, lots of comments coming in as to what this is about. That's good news. I think that's good news, going in a good direction.
I hope so.
Ryan Quick, though, says that this show is about hookers and blow.
Oh. Well, it was for a few minutes.
Yeah, I've never had either one, so I would not be the person, to talk about that. That's like those guys who have never shot a gun, but they have lots of stuff to say about it.
Oh yeah.
So if the show was about hookers and blow, I'm saying, because I've never shot hookers or blow.
Well, yeah, neither have I. And Hottie out there brings another great point. We need to congratulate South Dakota. The governor got constitutional carry in South Dakota.
Okay, cool. That's good.
Good stuff. Good. Constitutional carry has been signed in South Dakota.
Yeah. Kathleen Music Lover says it's about gun guys. So there you go. Safety Harbor Firearms. Walter says it's about freedom.
That's right.
So CB says pimps up, hose down. Very important.
There you go.
Yeah, very important.
I thought Walter was taking the day off, so he's taking the day off, but he's still in the chat. That's dedication. That's dedication.
He'll troll. Walter trolls us when he takes his days off.
No, are these contracted days off?
No.
No, okay.
That's
So he's not getting paid.
No, Walter's not getting paid for any of this. Yeah. Walter's not getting paid for any of this. So eventually we got to give him days off so he just doesn't just completely hide out from us and pretend he doesn't know who we are.
That's right.
But and then Jafari says H said that sounded real dirty. Okay.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Someone said backdoor galore. I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
Kathleen,
I know what it means, but I don't, not here.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know if we've got other guns to show here. Maybe
I only have my carry gun here, but I mean I can show it, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm at work. There's the old Walther PPQ subcompact. That's
okay. You're a Walther guy.
I love this gun, and yeah, absolutely love it.
Yeah. Very cool. Here's some gore. I've shown this already, but I'll show it again. I don't. How many people out there tell me who has a Remington 700 or would like a Remington 700? I'm going to do this video this weekend, but there's the Elftman trigger for you. Here's the safety. There's the trigger right there.
That's nice.
We got to drop that in that bad boy. So I'm going to do like a before and after and shoot it and all that kind of stuff. Probably over this weekend. Right. I will get that done and get that up there. I think I have maybe one more video left from SHOT Show. At Media Day, there's car companies out there, like Ram was out there with the new Ram Rebel, the 2019 Ram Rebel. So I took that for a drive. I need to get that video.
Now, what's the Rebel? Is it a pickup or what?
Yeah, it's a pickup truck.
Okay.
1500.
Okay. So it's like a souped up 1500, I guess.
Yeah, it's there's different trims and stuff like that. I have one. I have I think mine's a 2017, and it's a 5.7 liter V8 Hemi.
Yeah, I drive a Durango with a 5.7 Hemi, and I love that Hemi.
Cool.
But
yeah. So the new one has start stop. So I was arguing with the guy about that damn. I'm not a fan. Who likes start stop? Because I don't.
I'm not. No.
Yeah.
That does anything for me.
Yeah, I think for me, I don't want vehicles with this silly start stop thing in it. But they were saying that the guy was telling me, we put this electric motor. It's like a hybrid kind of thing in there that gives it more torque when you go to start off. And then when it's stopped, it helps run things and whatever. So he's like, "Oh, you got to drive it." It didn't feel that bad when I drove it. I just don't like the idea of freaking start stop.
Yeah, the fact that you're allowing electronics to get into more things is scary, because what if those electronics go wrong in a bad situation? You're screwed, you know. I
Yeah.
like engine and I like brake pads. I like basic running parts, you know.
Yeah, I think that we're going to have lifetime warranties on vehicles.
Yeah.
Because what's happening is that as we go forward into the future with all this technology, so when you first buy this vehicle, right, and it's covered for, I don't know, depends on what vehicle. Some vehicles are 36,000, some are 50. I think there's some companies like Hyundai and Kia, they go up to 100,000.
Yeah, 10-year, 100,000. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, these things are gonna have to be serious, because the amount of computers in these cars, the amount of motors, these stupid ass start-stop motors and all that kind of stuff, all things that go wrong if you buy that vehicle used or your warranty runs out and then you have to pay for that. I don't even trust dealership mechanics anymore.
Yep.
I've lost all faith and trust in these companies when you go, because like, for example, I bought my older son that he goes to FSU. We bought him a used, it's a 1999 Volkswagen Passat.
Good car. Yeah.
Yeah. And I had it checked out and everything, did all that stuff. It was all good. And then something came up with it, and he's in Tallahassee. So he went to the Volkswagen dealership there. Those guys are criminals, man. They are criminals. I think we changed the alternator, and then they were like, "Oh, this thing is wrong." They were trying to get us to pay like $3,000-$4,000 to fix stuff that they said that was wrong. And then what they fixed, he's been having problems with the vehicle since then. And then we just recently found out that they didn't put all the right parts on there, even though we paid them to put new parts and the right parts. I don't trust dealership mechanics anymore. So. Len Holt says even Audi ? See, like, I'm dealing with Audi, but my car is new, so when something goes wrong, they have to fix it. But what happens, like a new car now, any new car now with all this tech in it, if something goes wrong, ask yourself this question. Even if you're a very mechanically inclined person, can you fix all this stuff? Can you connect to I can give you an example. In my car, in my Audi, they had to change the navigational system in there, and the guy showed me a picture. They had to take the seats out and take off this panel in the back and all the stuff that they took out. He was like, "I've never seen anything like this." I had to take a picture of it and show it to you.
That's crazy. Just to change the navigational system.
Yeah. Remember navigation? Well, I always thought it was just in the dash, but
it goes up to the top of the roof or somewhere
too,
doesn't it?
There's a whole bunch of stuff behind me, and there's there's a lot of tech in these vehicles now. So, I think that what's going to happen is we're going to have those vehicles until the warranties run out, and then you might have to switch, or you're going to have to get lifetime coverage on those things.
Yeah, and I know that when like Toyota and all those came out with the Prius, and everyone was, this is years ago, 10, 15 years ago, it's, oh, the Prius is great, it's this, that, and the other, and getting 99 miles of the gallon. And then they realized like 3 years later, you've got to change the batteries. It's going to cost you like $12,000 to change the batteries after 3 or 4 years. I was like, oh, crap.
No, you're going to change the car, yeah.
Exactly. You're changing cars because it's cheaper to do that than buy the batteries.
I don't like Prius anyway. Any gun guys out there own it? Is there any gun? If you're a gun guy and you own a Prius, we got to check you.
You better go kill something quickly to get your man card back.
You got to check your credentials.
That's right.
If you're driving it, I guarantee you this. I've met.
If you own a Prius, you better own an NFA item. Just saying.
I met one guy. I was doing this gun event, and there was a guy there that was driving a Prius, and he said he was a gun guy. And I was like, dude, I saw you were driving a Prius. That's bullshit.
Now,
so he told me that was his girlfriend that had the Prius.
Oh, of course it is. Sure. Yeah. With all the gun stickers on the back window. Yeah. Now, Clover says it's nice to be able to change an alternator in the parking lot. And that's an inside joke because a couple of years ago, a bunch of us were up in Tulsa for the Wanamaker gun show, and my alternator went out. And I had to go by and grab one, and about 3 or 4 of us sat there with flashlights while Clover changed my alternator out in the hotel parking lot. So Thanks,
Oh.
Clover. He got me home. So yeah,
Yeah, he's
it
got
is nice
skills
to be able
like
to
that,
change
huh?
stuff out. You know,
He's got those kind of skills, huh?
he's got those skills, but more importantly, I'm not driving this fancy car that doesn't allow you to do anything without the
Yeah,
electronic
see?
code. So it's nice
Yeah.
to have that.
I'm going to tell you something. If you're going to get a used car, you should get a really old car that that you can. It's like guns. One of the things I like. That's why I don't want a bunch of electronics in my guns.
Right.
You know, I like being able to take guns apart, and I'm not like I'm not a super proficient on guns. I'm not trying to pretend I'm a gun genius or anything like that. But I like the idea. I could take a gun apart and figure that damn thing out and put it back together and get it working. It's not, it's not, it is kind of rocket science, but it's not. It's like it's like caveman rocket science if it was rocket science.
Right.
So, but here, a question comes to mind, Ghost.
Yeah, man.
You guys probably didn't have to jack up your car in order to change the alternator. I know some cars you have to do that, but I'm just curious. Is Clover capable of, like, if you don't have to jack up the car anyway, right? Because he could just walk right under.
He can walk right under it. Yeah. Oh Lord, no, he walked. Like he walked.
I'm
right
waiting for his comment.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming.
No, that's cool. Yeah, I think I think you really do have to get the older cars that have no computers. They're proof of freaking, like, if you have an EMP, you got to go real. Like, what is the what is it? What's the starting system that's EMP proof? The carburetors, right? If your vehicle has a carburetor, then it's EMP proof, right?
Pard, you're talking to a guy that literally aced the ASVAB for the Marine Corps, except for every single question on mechanics. The guy said you can literally do anything you want except for be a mechanic. So I know nothing about mechanics. Literally know nothing about it. Thank God for Clover.
Yeah, Clover says full circle OMG. I don't know what that means.
Well, we were talking about him being so short in the beginning of the show, so we've come full circle. So,
oh, we're not over. This is not the end. We still got.
No.
We could do this. We could get him up with jokes for the next 10 minutes.
Parts. It could flow and it could get really bad.
Yeah. Lola says so much love tonight for Clover Tack, and Clover says feeling it big time.
Yeah, he is big time. He's a big time guy,
Yeah, we're just, we tease because we love you.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, we tease because we love you. Yeah, I think we got to get simple vehicles. Yeah. Or I'm not super mechanically inclined either. So, my philosophy is no damn used cars. So I actually regret buying my son that used car.
See, I'm the opposite. I will not buy a new car. Now that being said, is like, if I'm going to get a new car, I'm going to wait. I'll wait in like October and get me a 2019 model that might have 5,000 or 6,000 miles, but it's not considered new still. It's one of those things where, I've only bought 2 cars in my life. I had a Land Rover and a long time ago.
That's a doozy. That's a doozy to get.
That was awesome. That's back in the 90s when it first came out. I had one. I had to have it, and then my wife had a what do you call them? The Lincoln Navigator. We bought those both new, and I'll never buy a new car again. It's just one of those things where I'll wait 6 months till the new models come out, and I'll go buy this brand new car that's been there for a year, that's been driven a little bit, and I'll get it for almost damn near half the price. So I'm cheap like that, though.
No, that's good, but you can still get some kind of coverage on it, right?
Oh yeah, I'll still have the factory warranty on it and all that, So it works out the best of both worlds.
Yeah, that's the big thing that troubles me. Like the reason I wanted to get him a used car, because I was like, hey, he's got to suffer.
Yeah,
he's in school. The problem is he's about 2.5, 3 hours away. He's not super mechanically inclined or into that kind of thing, but he needs his car to get around and do his thing. And it would have been better for me to just go buy. What is Lola says? I'm not mechanically inclined. Period. That's not true. I can do some shit.
Can you change the battery?
Yeah, I could change a battery.
There you go.
I've changed.
You change the oil if you had to.
Yes. Yes, see, I could.
You're mechanically inclined.
I could change tires. I've
go.
changed things. I've worked on things,
Damn it.
I'm just too good looking to be doing all that stuff all the time.
You're the talent, man. You're the talent.
Yeah. But I don't like to do those things. So in New York, as soon as at 16, I was driving. At 16 years old, I bought a car, stick shift, driving it, totaled it. Got another car. Did not like public transportation. So I had to fix things, but
Yeah.
I think it would have been easier for me. It would have been cheaper for me to just go buy him like a little Hyundai or Kia or something like that.
Now she's
that's
calling you
covered.
out.
Oh, she says without cursing. Why, as a man, why do I have to do things without
Aren't you
cursing?
supposed to curse when you're doing stuff like that?
Yeah, I don't understand that. I don't understand that question.
Yeah.
That question is not relevant. Everything that I do, I have to curse and carry on.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I do that just have a normal conversation. So much less if I'm doing something strenuous,
Yeah. Yeah. See, Clover took our back on that one. He said
did.
No one can work on a vehicle without cursing. Come on now. Being always Lola, because I curse with everything. Everything I do.
Oh no, Walter says it. Peggy says she's more mechanically inclined than you are.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
is that the line in the sand right there?
That cuts deep. That cuts deep. I have fixed stuff. I've done things. I've fixed things. You can ask Lola if something needs to be fixed. I can't let it go. I can't sleep. I can't do anything. I have to figure that thing out or whatever and get it done. But I don't spend a lot of time actually wrenching on stuff and all that. But I have done it. I don't know what Lola's talking about. I've actually wrenched on stuff in my life, so
I've wrenched on some things, but I don't trust myself. I'm gonna be honest. I don't trust myself to wrench on a lot of stuff. So
yeah, but you put guns and stuff like that together, right?
well, that's true, but still, I'm talking about like if I have directions, like instructions or something, or even a YouTube video that's very detailed, I can do it. But if I just have a bunch of these parts just lying around with no guidance, yeah, it might as well be Greek to me. So I'm one of those guys that I can do whatever, but I need some guidance. If it's putting stuff together without directions, I can probably figure it out, but I want to have about half the parts still missing or still there when I get done saying, that's not right. Why are all these parts still here?
Yeah.
I'm that guy.
Yeah. I have put together lots of IKEA furniture.
Yes, IKEA's.
That has to count for something.
Yeah, I mean, I put together several IKEA stuff, and they're not very hard. But even there, I still got some screws like left over. And I don't know if they sent extras or if I'm just missing a screw here and there. But my wife says I'm missing a screw, like literally. But that's just that's a whole other conversation.
Mel the Nut says I love mechanicking. Part of the reason why I love guns.
Is mechanicking a word?
It is now.
I like Mel. What's up, Mel?
Yeah, it's a word now. Listen, I think, older cars, way better. Older cars, way better if you're going to do this. Lola, by the way, talking lots of smack about me. She does not like older cars. She doesn't like me wrenching on anything. She's seen me wrench on stuff. She knows that. Don't even lie, Lola. I've worked on motorcycles. Someone had to come and actually make the motorcycle run, but I took it apart. So I had to
take a lot of stuff apart.
Yeah. Well,
just don't ask me to put it back together. That's true. That's still wrenching,
That's half the job.
That's right.
Yeah. Lola says, yes, when I had a Via Cross, I had an Isuzu Via Cross, I took it apart and fixed it. I took some of it apart and fixed it. Yeah. So, there's some vehicles are easier to work on.
Like the old 65 Mustang type. I mean, those things, there were only so many parts that you had to worry about,
Yeah. Well, if you think about it this way, so back when I had to figure out how to drive and I was on a low budget. So you get a used car. In New York, you have to get a used car, man, because new cars are it's ridiculous. Insurance, all that kind of stuff. So you get a used car, then you go to the car parts store, and they have a book on that car.
There you go.
So for example, like how even like a 99 Passat, you can go get the book on the 99 Passat, and then you could do stuff, but you have to have time for that.
Right. I bet you they've also got YouTube videos for it too now.
Yeah. So David Cardinal said Hank needed Walter to put together a 1022, and they still forgot the bolt stop pin. Okay. Now that is technically true. Okay.
I want to hear how it's not technically true though.
Okay, that's technically true. But here's the problem. So I did not need Walter to put it together. We did a video together having fun. because I think it's more fun to do these build videos with friends and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Like you said, I could figure out that thing. I could get instructions. I could look up instructions, look at YouTube videos, and put things together. And I've done that. And I've actually built a couple of 1022s myself. So those videos are my evidence. Those videos are on YouTube of me. Like I got an old 1022, cleaned it up, and built it into a whole different gun. I did all that stuff. So I went over to Walther because I thought it would be fun. Walther builds guns. Walther refused to read any kind of instructions or look up anything. That's dude shit. Can't, be worried about that. So yeah, we did forget to put that thing in, but we got most of the parts in and it ran. So, that's a win.
It is a win for sure.
As far as I'm concerned, that's a win. There's a whole bunch of things we probably didn't do right when we were putting that thing together. So, and Walther got to build his first 1022. So
that was his first build. Nice.
Yeah, Walther says that was my first 1022 build ever, and because of the shame, he will never forget that pin. He'll just forget some other thing.
It's funny because Clover and I were talking on the phone this about a week or so before shot about 1022s, because he was like, you can go find a brand new 1022 for a really good price, but if you want to custom build it, like you can spend $3 or $4 grand on a 1022, and it's crazy. Like you can spend $3 or $4 grand on a 1022 if you really wanted to.
Yeah, I've got some integral barrels. Like I've got the short charger length integral barrels. I've got the rifle length barrels. I built several, several 1022s. But yeah, that was Walter's first thing. We can't be too rough on him. He says, Walter says there's some kind of buffer we left out. A couple things.
Some buffer thing.
But nothing, but it worked. It's like you were saying with IKEA, man. If the thing technically works without that stuff, it's good. Those are just extras.
If you pull the trigger and it comes out, you've done your job, right?
Yeah, those are just things they put in there because of lawyers or something like that.
Well, because the ATF says so. I don't know.
Man, these gun guys are critical.
It will kill.
Yeah, Walter says it will kill. It will kill. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, listen. Don't try to tell me the dudes out there don't build cars and leave parts out.
Exactly. Hey, what's this screw for? I don't know. It runs. We're good.
Yeah, we're gonna build. Yeah, we do need to do an AK. I know Babyface is built. Have you ever built up an AK from scratch?
I have not. No, I have not. Okay. I've heard it's a pain in the ass, though.
Yeah, Walter leaves stuff out of things all the time. It's no big deal.
Yeah, he kind of knows what he's doing, though, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
When you do this kind of stuff, you figure it out. That's why I like getting my hands on things and building it. Lola does not like me having projects.
Right.
I could just tell you that. I would like to be mechanically inclined, but Lola doesn't. Like I actually have a Subaru Boxer engine on the Hacienda. I do.
Nice.
Ask Walter. It's been out there for a while. And then I've got like the front end of a Mazda Miata. I got all kinds of different parts because I was going to build a reverse trike. So I was going to use
interesting.
Yeah,
I've actually seen someone that did that and it didn't work out well. So you might want to not look at that guy's video. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, he had like 2 wheels in the front and one in the back, and it was awkward looking.
Yeah, I was going to build one of those. I had the designs in my head. So
it's an original design. This is a Hank Strange unlimited, a limited edition.
Yeah, we will probably call it like the Hankinator or something like that. I just needed to
Hankenstein.
Yeah, I have to learn how to weld so I can weld.
Oh, that's it. That's not a big deal.
So I can weld the frame together. Then I had to figure out how to put like a Mazda Miata front end and mate it with some kind of motorcycle rear end. And do a bunch of electronics.
I love you, dude, but please make sure you're videoing the first ride you take with that, because that might be the last time we see you. Just saying.
Okay, that project has been waiting to be worked on for several years. So yeah, we'll see how that one goes.
Right.
Yeah, my brain bites off more than it can actually chew, so that happens all the time. So
yeah, says nope. When you get bored, I got to get rid of whatever it is. So
yeah, that's true. That's how I am.
I think that the front end of the Miata on the back end of a VW Bug could be an interesting car. You ever thought about doing that?
Of a Miata, but yeah, it was going to be 4 wheels. I think the best combination is 3 wheels. Okay. 3 wheels is better than 2 wheels, and it's better than 4 wheels. If it's 2 up front and 1 in the back, I don't like 1 up front and 2 in the back. That's corny.
Well, there's a reason why there's not many cars or big have to up front. Though.
Oh, you're breaking up a little bit there.
Am I?
Yeah. No, it's a pretty cool design to have 2 up front and 1 in the back. We can have that argument. We'll do a whole show about that, and we'll have that argument. I'll probably need to do it on the auto channel on Stranger Palooza.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that because I don't know if the gun guys want to get that deep into that. But if there's any gun guys out there interested in building reverse strikes, let me know.
That would be an interesting project, especially down in Florida, because you guys have weather year round that you could spend time outside working on stuff,
Yeah, if you can weld, we need a welder. You got to be able to do like weld aluminum.
Yeah, that would help.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Somebody who's good with engines. We need someone who's good with motorcycles because motorcycles going to be part of the deal.
So basically, it sounds like you're there to supervise. Is that right?
Yeah, wiring is going to be required. We might need someone to do some like carbon fiber or fiberglass.
The paint job, right? Or do you need a painter?
I could do paint myself. I know you're breaking up, but yeah, someone said Brick says just get a Can-Am Spider. So I don't know.
Those Can-Ams, they look cool. But they look pretty cool.
Yeah. So yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. I'm gonna do something one of these days. We'll see. But anyway, let's probably wrap this up because I know your signal is getting messed up. Lola's good.
I don't know. It's weird because mine shows 100% here. I don't know. It's weird.
Oh, that's weird. I don't know what's going on. But okay, maybe it's on my end. Maybe it's on my end. Something's going on. Okay,
man.
Yeah. So what do you want the folks to know out there before we get out of here?
I mean, not really much of anything. I put a video out today. It's called Concealed Carry for Beginners. So if you're thinking about or someone's thinking about concealed carry, have them watch the video. Check out our podcast, our live shows. Check us all out at www.ghosttacticalproductions.com. More importantly, get your asses over to Gunstreamer, sign up, and go support Gunstreamer. They're the greatest 2A platform out there. And so, yeah, they had a great week last week at SHOT Show. So some great things are coming. But Paul and Ashley and Austin are good friends of mine and Hank's. And they're phenomenal people doing a great thing. So please just go check out gunstreamer.com.
Awesome. Yes, totally. I second that with gunstreamer.com. You guys should go check that out. We'll be back tomorrow. I totally forgot who's coming on tomorrow, but somebody cool. Who's coming on? Oh, Lou, 1911 Louis Valdez is coming on from Truth About Guns, and Walter will be here. Thanks to Ghost Tactical for here. Shout out to Clover Tack, who we made fun of, but he's a good dude. We'll get him back here sometime in the future. I see Big Daddy Hoffman is in the chat. Shout out, Big Daddy Hoffman, you need to get your butt on this show at some point. Need to make it happen.
Gotta do it. Make it happen.
Yes, we need to make it happen. We are out of here. Peace. We'll see you guys.